From our Chicago studios, this is the Muslim News on Muslim Network TV. Assalamu alaikum, I'm Samana Siddiqui. Our top story tonight. The Palestinian Health Ministry has released the names of 34,344 Palestinians killed by the Israeli army in Gaza since October 7th. The list includes the names of 11,983 minors under the age of 18. It also has the names of 710 infants under a year old and 2,734 people over the age of 60 who were all killed in Israel's attacks. The UN Agency for Palestinian Refugees, or UNRWA, is calling for humanitarian pauses to provide children in Gaza with a second dose of polio vaccines. Around 560,000 Palestinian children under the age of 10 received the first dose as part of a polio vaccination campaign between September 1st and 12th. According to the World Health Organization Director General Tedros Ghebreyesus, UNRWA and its partners have vaccinated hundreds of thousands of children, reaching 90% vaccination coverage. He said the next challenge is to administer a second dose by the end of September. On multiple occasions, the Israeli army has halted UN vehicles carrying vaccines and fuel amid its war on Gaza. Last month, UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres called for a 7-day humanitarian ceasefire to allow the vaccination of 640,000 children. The appeal followed the detection of the first confirmed polio case in Gaza. At least 26 Palestinians were killed and 84 injured in relentless Israeli attacks across Gaza within just 24 hours, according to the Palestinian Health Ministry. Among the casualties, 4 fatalities were reported following an Israeli bomb strike on the Burej refugee camp in central Gaza, where rescuers fear many remain trapped. 7 members of the same family were confirmed dead after returning to their homes in Burej, having fled earlier violence. Civil defense teams are struggling to reach the devastated areas due to the intensity of the bombardment, which targeted multiple residential homes with heavy artillery and airstrikes. Israel's ongoing war has resulted in staggering losses, with the Palestinian Education Ministry reporting that over 11,000 students have been killed and nearly 18,000 injured since it began last October. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has stated expanded military objectives, including the return of residents to the Lebanese border. Israel has killed at least 41,252 Palestinians and wounded 95,497 in its war on Gaza. However, in a report published last July in the British medical journal The Lancet, experts estimated that Israel's war has killed an estimated 186,000 Palestinians in Gaza. Israel faces accusations of genocide at the International Court of Justice for its violence in Gaza. Secretary of State Antony Blinken has arrived in Egypt to attend a 3-day U.S.-Egypt strategic dialogue. However, his more crucial engagement is to secure a ceasefire deal and negotiate prisoner exchange between Israel and Hamas. This is Blinken's 10th visit to the Middle East since last October, highlighting the U.S.'s active involvement. A recent 3-phase plan proposed by President Joe Biden involves a ceasefire, a prisoner exchange, and Israeli military withdrawal from Gaza, as well as a boost in humanitarian aid. However, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's refusal to withdraw from Gaza's Philadelphia corridor has hindered progress, even though U.S. officials say 90% of the ceasefire terms have been agreed upon. Israeli opposition leader Yair Lapid has urged Netanyahu to prioritize a ceasefire, stressing the importance of returning prisoners for national healing. Meanwhile, Turkish Foreign Minister Hakan Fidan will travel to Jordan for a meeting of the Organization of Islamic Cooperation and the Arab League Contract Group to push for a permanent ceasefire and increased support for Palestinian refugees. At least 9 people have been killed and over 2,800 injured in Lebanon after a series of explosions involving pagers used by Hezbollah. Lebanon's Health Minister Firas Abiyad confirmed the toll, while Hezbollah reported mysterious explosions across various units. Investigations are underway to determine the cause of the blasts. Among the victims were a 10-year-old girl and the son of a Hezbollah member of parliament. Iran's ambassador to Lebanon, Mujtaba Amani, was also wounded. The Lebanese government condemned the incident, accusing Israel of aggression. Speculation suggests malware may have triggered the explosions, with reports indicating some pagers heated up before detonating. Hezbollah has urged the public to disregard rumors and reaffirmed its readiness to defend Lebanon. Footage from Beirut's southern suburbs shows bloodied victims, while hospitals have issued urgent blood donation appeals. According to Syrian and Iranian media, Hezbollah members were wounded and taken to hospital in Syria as well. The affected pagers were from a new shipment that Hezbollah had received in recent days, according to Wall Street Journal. A Hezbollah official told the WSJ that hundreds of fighters had such devices. At least 17 cases have been filed against 51 people in India for supporting Palestine through protests or social media posts since last October 7th. The report by Article 14, a non-governmental organization, found that charges range from organizing rallies to displaying Palestinian flags and posting Free-Palestine content on social media. Most cases fall under the new Indian Penal Code, while one invokes the Unlawful Activities Prevention Act, according to the report. Notable cases include a 20-year-old shopkeeper charged for waving a Palestinian flag during a religious procession and students facing legal action for participating in a campus solidarity march. 9 of the cases were registered in states governed by the ruling Bharatiya Janata Party or its allies, the remaining 8 in opposition-controlled areas. We're bringing more news stories after the break, so stay tuned and we'll be right back. Welcome back. Republican presidential candidate Donald Trump made headlines on Sunday by expressing his dislike for pop icon Taylor Swift. On his Truth Social platform, he stated, "I hate Taylor Swift." The outburst follows Swift's endorsement of Democratic presidential contender and Vice President Kamala Harris for the upcoming November 5th election. Swift's endorsement came after a recent debate between Trump and Harris. The singer praised Harris on Instagram, calling her a steady-handed, gifted leader who fights for crucial causes. In response, Harris's campaign playfully mocked Trump, referencing 28 of Swift's songs in a statement. Swift's support has already prompted a surge in engagement. Hundreds of thousands have been visiting the U.S. election information site, and her Instagram post has garnered over 10 million likes. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer and Senator Ed Markey are urging the Biden administration to enhance civil rights protections against algorithmic bias. This is specifically in the use of artificial intelligence by federal agencies. In a letter to Office of Management and Budget Director Shalonda Young, the senators highlighted that biased algorithms can harm marginalized communities across various sectors, including employment and healthcare. They acknowledged the administration's previous actions, but stressed the need for stronger measures to prevent discrimination. Schumer and Markey are calling for all federal agencies using AI for significant decisions to establish dedicated civil rights offices staffed by experts in algorithmic discrimination. They are calling for the development of resources to audit algorithms for bias. They are also urging the enforcement of regulations against violations, ensuring that AI advancements do not come at the expense of vulnerable populations. Markey has been a key force behind both the Algorithmic Justice and Online Platform Transparency Act and the Facial Recognition and Biometric Technology Moratorium Act. The Treasury Department has imposed sanctions on 5 individuals and 1 entity associated with the spyware firm Intellexa Consortium. This is for their alleged role in developing, operating, and distributing commercial spyware technology. The department said in a statement that this presents a significant threat to U.S. national security. It also noted that the Intellexa Consortium is a complex international web of decentralized companies which built and commercialized highly invasive spyware products under the brand name Predator. Predator spyware has been used to gain access to data stored and transmitted from the target's device, such as a cell phone, through one-click and zero-click attacks that require no user interaction. Springfield, Ohio has canceled its beloved Culturefest in the wake of Republican attacks on Haitian migrants during last week's presidential debate. The event was originally set for September 27th. However, city officials announced the cancellation, prioritizing public safety. This was after receiving multiple bomb threats, which turned out to be hoaxes. Springfield City Hall, several schools, as well as a state motor vehicle office were forced to evacuate last week after receiving the threats. Republican presidential candidate Donald Trump and his campaign have intensified unfounded claims about the Haitian community eating the pets of residents, worsening local tensions. Haitian immigrants have recently settled in Springfield, impacting local services and housing. In response to Trump's claim, Ohio Governor Mark DeWine condemned the rumors and pledged increased security. That includes patrols in schools. DeWine stressed the importance of keeping schools open despite the threats. President Biden also denounced the spread of hate and misinformation, calling for unity and support for the community. At least 36 people died in a bus collision in northern Nigeria's Kaduna state, local media reported on Monday. The bus was transporting Muslim worshippers to the Eid al-Mawlud celebration, a Muslim festival marking the birth of Prophet Muhammad. The incident occurred in the Lere area, where the bus collided with an oncoming truck. Emergency services rushed to the scene, but the majority of the passengers were pronounced dead on arrival. A few victims were transported to nearby hospitals for treatment, but their condition remains unknown. The cause of the accident is currently under investigation. The Taliban-led interim Afghan administration says it will recruit some 1,500 women in the education sector. The interim education ministry has announced approximately 8,000 posts in teaching and administrative positions, the Kabul-based Tolu News reported on Sunday. Eligible candidates from 24 provinces across Afghanistan will register within 10 days and sit in examinations conducted by the National Examination Authority. In a bid to combat what it calls disinformation, the African Continental Alliance of Sahel States, or AES, is set to launch a new web television platform. This follows after the closure of several French media outlets in Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger. This initiative aims to enhance the credibility of the AES, which was formed last September to tackle escalating security challenges in the region. This decision comes amid a broader communication strategy developed by the AES as the three nations continue to navigate instability caused by militant groups. Observers say recent actions, including suspending multiple French media channels for regulatory violations, underscore the growing tensions in the region. With a combined population of 72 million, these junta-ruled countries are determined to strengthen their narrative and counter external influences. The three West African nations withdrew from the Economic Community of West African States, which had threatened to intervene militarily in the Niger following a coup in that country last year in July. Relief USA's Day of Dignity recently brought hope to over 500 unhoused individuals in Portland, Oregon. The organization's flagship program provided essential resources like free glasses, haircuts, food, and chiropractic services. President of Islamic Social Services of Oregon, Leila Haju, highlighted Portland's critical role in serving the unhoused and expressed gratitude for the event's offerings. Organizers stressed the event as a two-way exchange, enriching both givers and receivers. That's all from our Chicago studios tonight. Thank you for watching Muslim News. We are a community news channel dedicated to bringing you stories you can trust. Please like, share, and subscribe to our content. You can also comment to let us know what you think of our coverage. You can donate now by visiting muslimnetwork.tv/donate. For more content, keep watching Muslim Network TV. Salam.